Hi, everybody. Welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, we are talking pocket presence, pocket movement, the nuance and details around it, not only coaching it, teaching it, but also getting better, improving upon it for yourself if you're a player. So all of those things are going to be wrapped up into showing some NFL film, some college film, some drill film. And if you make it all the way to the end, you're going to see my favorite drill to improve pocket presence, pocket movement explained and detailed. So fired up for this one. Let's get it going. Welcome to the QB School. So the idea for this one came from David Farber from the Quarterback School Patreon community. I appreciate the support, David. Hey, JT, interesting video idea. Could you go into details and nuance of pocket movement, maybe even some drills, good idea, you used to do, and break down some film of the best doing it in a game? I hit him back, good idea. He's polite, hits me back with a thank you. Let's get it. So the first thing I want to talk about pocket presence, pocket movement, is that I think it's a learned skill, meaning that it can be developed and improved upon. It's not something you're born with. It's not innate. Now, some people might be more comfortable than others, and you can certainly get better with experience, but I really think it's a learned skill. So we're going to talk about how exactly you can go about improving upon it, whether you're a coach and a teacher or whether you're still playing and you're worried about your pocket movement, your pocket presence. All of those things wrapped up into this video. Excited about it. Anecdotally, to start this thing off, I want to tell a story because I personally think subtle, nuanced pocket movement is some of my favorite quarterbacking to watch. I think it's just beautiful how you can hang in the pocket, trust your guys to get open down the field and deliver a strike down the field. And for me personally, I can remember being in high school. I'm not going to name names here, but it wouldn't be too hard to figure it out. I remember listening to a high school show, radio show in Sacramento. That's where I went to high school. And we were playing one of our biggest games of the year, I think the city championship game. And they were previewing it. I don't remember if it was exactly about that game. It was around that time, that playoffs, my junior year. And the host, who does a great job covering regional sports for Sacramento, basically said, exactly said that I had happy feet. And I remember being livid, legitimately pissed and thinking that's some bullshit. I'm not about that. Like, like essentially saying that you're scared to play within the pocket. And I remember throwing 4 picks in the game that comes up in the first half, but we came back to win. But besides the point, I remember running into him after the game saying, essentially doing like a Kirk Cousins, how you like that? You like me now type thing after. But the reality was, years after, kind of letting it resonate, I think I probably did have some happy feet in the pocket, or maybe, a little timid, not necessarily having what it takes to stand in there, trust your protection, and be able to kind of stare down the barrel and deliver the ball down the field. And from that point on, I was really intentional about being someone who wanted to do that. Now, I didn't want to be a statue back there, but I did not want to be someone who got accused of bailing early, of not trusting my protection, of not knowing where I was hot. All those things that can kind of allow quarterbacks to play a little bit more timid from the pocket than they could if they had a great understanding of the protection, if they trusted their guys up front, if they understood the depths of the concepts out in the field to be able to know, hey, can I hang in here just a tick longer to deliver a strike in a really crucial moment of a game? Those types of things, I think, are some of my favorite quarterback traits that I look for now. And so I certainly think it can be developed because I felt like I developed it along the way. And so I think it can help if you understand the characteristics that are tethered to kind of pocket movement, pocket presence. So let's go over a few of the key characteristics, I think, for being a great pocket presence quarterback that can move within the pocket, not necessarily a get outside and create element, which is a great element to have, but more that pocket movement, that subtle pocket movement that allows you to buy just a tick of time to deliver the ball down the field where you want, when you want. So the main characteristics I want to talk about, I've already touched on a few of them, are toughness and courage. Part of playing quarterback is getting hit. And once you come to the realization that you signed up for this, that you're playing a position that will make you vulnerable to hits that you can't see or you're not looking at, I think it allows some level of uncertainty to just kind of wash off and realize, hey, that's part of the role. So if you're not comfortable with that, then you're just not comfortable with playing quarterback, and not everyone is. It is not for everyone. So I think that there is an element of toughness to say, hey, I'm going to stand in here. I'm going to trust my teammates to do their job. And if they don't, I'm going to get hit, and get hit hard, potentially by someone I can't see that's a lot bigger than me. So it does take courage. It does take toughness to be able to stand in there and deliver a ball down the field when someone potentially could hit you, and you don't know when that's necessarily going to happen because you're trusting your teammates. The other characteristics I think it takes is that there's an element of vision that comes into play here. So it's not just, hey, vision, is this guy open down the field? Is he open? What is open? 1, 2, 3, get through your read, that type of vision. It's more a combination of keeping your eyes down the field, but also seeing and feeling essentially color flash in front of your face. So if you see color flash, basically the color of the other team's jersey, you essentially got to move. Now, you might have to bail. You might have to just slide over, shuffle over, slide up, move back, reset. All those types of different options come into play. But it's a combination of, you got to stand in there, but you also can't have blinders on. You can't be so locked in down the field that you just get smoked from a free runner running through the A gap from 10 yards away. And so there's this combination of vision, kind of soft focus more than anything else. I used to laugh at a coach of mine that used to say, hyper focus on accuracy, soft focus on color. But there is an element of being able to kind of see color flash in front of your face. And then that vision combines with feel, being able to feel the open space within the pocket to realize, hey, this concept, we really need to drive the ball down the field. Instead of bailing out one way or the other, I'm just going to shuffle over. I'm going to slide over. I'm going to reset. I'm going to dip and rip to be able to buy just a little bit of time for our guys to win down the field so I can deliver and get a big chunk, as opposed to just getting back to the line of scrimmage on a scramble. So that combination of vision and feel. And then the final thing that I'm going to add characteristic-wise here is just an element of some football IQ. Realizing, hey, are they pressuring us? Are they in a normal 4-person rush? Are they drop 8? Are they only rushing 3? Is there a spy back there? What's going on rush-wise to be able to make this pocket movement a little bit easier? If I'm getting drop 8 and they're only rushing 3, well, I'm going to be a hell of a lot better in my pocket movement, a lot smoother, a lot more trustworthy, because I know they're only rushing 3. If they're bringing 7, well, then I'm not going to stand back there and try to slide, reset, dip and rip, kick back, and you buy a bunch of time. I'm going to get the ball out of my hand. And so there is this football IQ element. But those characteristics together, I think, give you a pretty good chance to be successful at being someone who's a really good quarterback who can move in the pocket and buy enough time to be able to drive the ball down the field. The other part of pocket movement, pocket presence I want to talk about before we get into the film is just kind of the technical elements of it. For me, there are a few different kind of verbiage elements that I think get tossed around that really kind of, when you get into the details of it, how you define some of these doesn't necessarily matter, but I think you can kind of rank them in realistic possibilities. And so for me, when I think pocket movement, pocket presence, the first thing I think about is just ball protection. I personally love to have 2 hands on the ball, teach 2 hands on the ball. I was a guy, ironically, who probably didn't do that near well enough or naturally. And so it was something that I tried to work on, even if I wasn't great at getting better at it. But I love seeing guys who are smooth, fluid, that keep 2 hands on the ball all the time to protect it. The next thing for me is just how you move in the pocket, how we talk about it. I think that there are a number of different ways to talk about it. I don't think there's one necessarily right or wrong way. I think the easy way to think about it is just how you slide or glide or shuffle, all basically quick, sudden movements that get you off the point of attack for the defensive line or the launching point for the offensive line pass protection. So quick, sudden movements, slide, shuffle. I do not care. Let me be really explicit. I do not give a shit what foot moves first when we do these types of movement. We're just getting off the spot. And the next point of it is, are you resetting or are you staying on the move? I think nowadays a lot of guys, it's glamorized to be able to have a bunch of different throwing angles on the move. And I think some of that stuff is very cool and can be taught and improved upon. But as kind of a core concept, I prefer when I or coach guys, see guys, evaluate guys that can move quickly off the launch point and reset, keep their base. So being able to move quickly, reset, keep your eyes down the field, feel that pocket, that presence, and reset your feet to deliver a strike down the field. And so from there, those combinations of being able to move quickly, slide, reset, or not reset, stay on the move or not stay on the move, then being able to kind of differentiate that pocket movement with bailing and just getting out of there. And so there's all that space in between. But when we're talking about what I think are the best of the best, it's the guys who have two hands on the ball, who are doing quick, sudden movements and having the capacity to either reset or stay on the move to be able to keep their eyes down the field, feel the pocket, and deliver the ball where they want to, when they want to, as opposed to moving to trouble or bailing into trouble or bailing for no reason or seeing ghosts, all those types of things that we want to stay away from. So now let's look at some film, some of the best here, being able to do it at a high level. Start with Tom Brady. So for the first one here, we're going to look at Tom Brady. I think this is from his last game, wild card game. It's an incompletion, but I think when you ask people around the league, Tom Brady has got as good of anybody being able to play quarterback from within the pocket. And so just looking at his sudden movements, so two hands on the ball, quick slide, reset, keep your eyes down the field. Yes, it's an incompletion. Yes, it's a hold, but he doesn't know that. So two hands on the ball, quick reset, slide up. See how quickly it happens too? It's not like, a lot of gurus on Twitter, having 8 different movements. This is quick, sudden, boom, off his launch point, reset, eyes down the field, and deliver a strike. That's a strike. I don't care if it's dropped. Reset, see color flash, right there, reset, eyes down the field, away from the near defender, hit the guy in the damn one. It's a thing of beauty. So yeah, this is just a nothing incompletion penalty, but it's Tom Brady, the best of the best, moving within the pocket, sudden, elusive. Love it. Next one here, another incompletion. This one's a little bit more of a kind of feel thing for me, but this is him off the launch point, throwing an absolute seed down the field, should be caught, hits 13 again in the hands, but watch just getting off the launch point. So see him over by enough time and up. Now it helps when your center is getting dumped in your face, but watch this, just sudden over by enough time, stays in rhythm, and the thing is right on him. Again, this is the kind of the subtle, the nuance element of it. He's not supposed to get over the tackle. He feels the center turn. He sees that color flash right there. Feels that thing turn, move over, stay in rhythm, and throw an absolute seed, drop it off the rafters, catch the damn ball. Next one here, Lamar Jackson. Love this one. Another big one down the field. Again, drop 8. You got all sorts of time. Subtle movement, catch a lane, throw an absolute seed down the field. Keep your damn feet. Watch this thing from the back. Again, drop 8, football IQ, not in a rush. Over, up. Now, is it perfect all the time with Lamar Jackson? No. Would I love to see his base more consistent? Yes. But this right here, see him reset, all his cleats in the ground, goes to launch that thing, but doesn't unravel. Over, find the lane. Woo-hoo! Dot. This, college football. Drake May, going to be a really high draft pick. This is not picking on Drake May, choosing him. It's just because I saw this week when I did the video, the entire game for the Quarterback School Patreon community. So this is what you get. Sorry, May crew. But to me, Drake May is a little bit of what I would consider drifty. So this is drifting to trouble for me. Pocket presence, is this on Longo and company? Is this just how he plays the position? This to me is not the pocket presence you want to see. He's drifting to trouble, making that throw harder than it has to be. That thing might even get tipped because he drifts over there. Just stay in the middle of the pocket. Feel it. Have that feel to it as opposed to look where he throws this thing. Where are we? At the bottom of the U. Kicks over. I mean, he's throwing that essentially in the lap of the tackle. So to me, this would be an example of we're bringing ourselves to trouble. We're making life more difficult than it has to be. Next one here, this one, and again, I'm not picking on Drake May. He's just a fresh of mind video for me. You don't want this on your film where you run into the back of your left guard. To me, it looks like his eyes are down quickly as opposed to keeping his eyes down the field. Again, I couldn't tell you what's going on with their personnel up front. I definitely don't love seeing interior linemen get walked into your lap like this. But you don't love when your quarterback runs into the back of you either. That's a fast way to piss off offensive linemen. So again, it's easy with a clicker for me to say, get back here, dude. Step up, move over to the right. It's not going to be perfect all the time. I get that. But that's what I would say is the opposite of what you want to see for pocket presence, pocket movement. Whoop. Okay, nice job trying to fight to get back to the line of scrimmage, though. And another one here, just this idea saying, hey, buy enough time. You're going to get beat off the edge, get up and reset. To me, this looks like the read is supposed to go to the number 3 up top, read on a little choice or an option. It's there. In my opinion, that is there. Now, you could make the argument that, do we want to be making this type of play, this type of thing with this kind of issues on the up front? All right. But instead of coming back here and coming out like this, let's hit this back foot, get up and reset, because we know that these guys are coming out, whatever they're doing here, and we're trying to get the ball right here, but he's not going to just run up and run out. He's running a choice or an option where he's going to shuffle, let that clear, and then win. We got to trust him to win. So instead of going up and out, let's go up, back, up, reset, trust our guy to win, and throw it to him. This to me is pretty open. Like that's the kind of pocket presence, pocket feel that I'm talking about, that I want to see at a high level on Sundays all the time. And it's just not right here in this game, this rep. So up, reset. See how it comes out with the timing of this? Hit that back, up, reset, as opposed to up and out. Up, reset, throw. So we got some improvement here. And certainly the guy's a college guy. The guy's got a lot of talent. It's just top of mind. That's why he's the guinea pig for the not great pocket movement here. No shade other than that. But you can see here, up and reset. And again, it's easier for me said than done. I get it. That's any clicker, any analyst. So that was the film. The good, I think the greatest to ever do it, Tom Brady. Another example, Lamar Jackson. Just that subtle pocket movement, high football IQ, understanding where the void is, not kind of bailing out of there real quick. And then college football, just using Drake May to be able, just because I did a recent video on him and I knew exactly where those cut-ups were in the game, to be able to show some examples of maybe what some not great pocket presence, not great pocket movement looks like. And to, again, give illustrations of, the guy's a really good player. Drake May is going to be a high first-round draft pick. And all those guys, many guys, have lots of room for improvement, whether it be pocket presence, pocket movement, pocket feel, understanding the concept tethered with the protection, all those types of things. You get better and better the longer that you keep playing. But just some examples, film-wise, evidence to be able to say, hey, this is what it looks like at a really high level. This is what it looks like at someone who will probably get there really quickly, but isn't quite there yet. So next, we're going to look here at some drills. Now, drills. Quarterback drills, football drills, people lose their mind about. Okay, I personally am not a huge drill guy. Okay, so let me preface that. Let me say it again so people don't get hurty feelings when they watch this. I am not a huge drill guy. Okay, I'm just not. I don't, for a number of different reasons. Probably the most drilled in pocket presence thing we did that I'll talk about at the end was a combination of just drops and getting through reads and how we did it. Maybe put a little nuance onto that. But we are going to show some examples here about how people try to teach and drill pocket presence, pocket movement. Now, I think that you could make the argument that every one of these drills has some good elements. Now, is the opportunity cost high enough for you to go out there and try to replicate this? Probably not. In fact, I will say not. But I think it's worth kind of seeing what's out there to be able to pick and choose potentially what you could do either as a player or as a coach to be able to recreate how you want to teach pocket presence, pocket movement. And then at the very end, I'll teach you how I did it. And I think it's a nice little hack or combo of a lot of these drills. But I want to, again, stay really, really clear. Do not freak out that I made fun of your drill or the way that you go about teaching this if you're a quarterback guru. Okay, this is just my opinion. My opinion is that these drills should be as game-like as possible. So when someone's doing 20 movements, that doesn't look like any game I've ever seen in the pocket. When someone's yelling stuff or pointing stuff for you to look at, that doesn't look like anything I've ever seen in a football game. Not to say that I haven't done elements of that. Just trying to, in your mind, go into these drills saying, okay, this dude is trying to create as much game-like environment while reinforcing the technique that he believes in. Okay? Let me say it again. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. You're going to freak out. All right. If you watch this channel, you probably know that I'm a big fan of a quarterback's lower half base. I personally think this is one of the better base drills. Now, you're probably already saying, hey, you just told me you don't like guys pointing or yelling. Yeah. Okay. I get it. It's part of this drill. Okay. Don't freak out. Full clarity here for me. I definitely did this drill as a quarterback coach, high school coach. I think that there is some validity here when you're speaking about how to keep a base, teach sudden pocket movements that I really like. Okay? Make no bones about it. This is one of my favorite drills, even if it has some elements that I don't love. Here's another team doing it. Skymailing my guy Doc. But we'll talk about how I ended up kind of bastardizing this to combine a few different ones, because I think it's tough to replicate pocket movement. Now, the other thing you should probably notice is that these NFL teams, they've got like really nice equipment, great bunch of dudes out there catching for you, equipment staff. You know, we've got all sorts of gear we can use, nets. When I was coaching high school football, I didn't see any of this. In fact, I've never seen someone do 2 circles and then bail out and run. So again, does this look like any game you've ever seen? You know, maybe you kick back and escape one time, probably not twice. I kind of like this one, where it's just this kind of sudden movement where you don't know where it's coming from. You know, who knows who's supposed to go first, who's supposed to go second. It looks game-ish. You know, he doesn't reset, but he gets it out off platform. I like this kind of movement. This is the kind of stuff that I just don't understand. This doesn't look like anything I'm familiar with from the quarterback position. And I have a hard time not just laughing. Next one here, old school Arizona State box drill. You know, guy looks stiff as hell. You know, you're trying to hit a quarterback's throwing arm with a stick and a glove. It's not for me. It just, I've never seen a quarterback move around that long in a pocket. Man, the dudes look so stiff too. Get a little fluid movement, protect the ball. I don't know. I mean, it's just, it's not for me, dog. Like, it doesn't look like anything quarterback that I would want to promote. Now this, I do love. This looks like a drill that looks like a game. Quick, sudden movement, dip and rip. I mean, this little movement, I don't think I talked about earlier in the video, but get to the top of your drop, dip that back shoulder, reset up, and throw it. That's outstanding. Dip, rip, reset. Love it. You can see here, you know, this is something you see at some camps. I know it as a Elite 11 drill. I really like it. Elements like this, you could actually do this. You know, if you're a high school coach or a lower level coach, all you need is one guy, one bag. Quarterbacks can throw to themselves. This is one of my favorite clips. My guy, Bruce Gregkowski, back in the day, you know, looking good in his camp, working it. And Big Ben, this is the realistic element of it. He doesn't give a shit what coming at him. You know, this is funny to me because I like the idea of making you move off stuff you don't know is coming, but it's a little too close to home because I've actually seen this guy do this to teams I was playing against, where he just said, it doesn't matter. I'm bigger than the D lineman. Get off me. These are drills that I stole from the Patriots that I actually did when I was coaching high school football. It's just a warm-up. Whether I was coaching the wide receivers, the running backs, quarterbacks, the tight ends, we'd all do this kind of stuff together. Not necessarily the ball flip, but the ball security. So, you know, not that you run through bags like this very often, but this element of it every day, ball security, just to re-emphasize the importance of protecting the ball, whether you have it tucked like that or you're running through like you're going through the pocket. You know, I think that we actually use the red crowns just like this as well. You know, try not to hit the quarterback's hand or arm, but I think these are good drills to reinforce ball protection. Nice, easy way to be able to start camp practices. You know, this next one here, there's so much bad going on here where you've got, first of all, obviously the guy doing a drill where he's getting super toesy, heel clicky with a medicine ball. You've also got guys doing push-ups physical punishment for probably a physical error. Not for me, but he just looks so stiff. He looks so toesy. He looks so heel clicky, and we're reinforcing it. This type of stuff, I can't, man. Like, I want the quarterback to be smooth, fluid, in rhythm, not toesy, stiff, rigid, worried about looking down at bags. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all. And, this is one of 8 billion different examples you can find on social media of guys doing crazy stuff like this. I just doesn't make sense to me at all. This is probably my most fun element of this clip, is these guys just having fun throwing these things at each other. Not that that's safe either, but this is how I feel about this drill right here. 6. Tell me about it. So I'm going to finish up the drill element of this video just by talking about my favorite drill for pocket presence, pocket movement. And it really is a combination of a few of these different things. And so I'll talk through it, and then I'll kind of draw it to show it, just because I don't have any film of me doing it. But definitely was my favorite element of it. And I totally did not come up with this on my own. It really was a combination of hijacking a number of different people's kind of pocket movement, pocket presence drills, also with kind of reinforcing the things that we were working on the most, which was always the base, and being able to be as consistent, as powerful as we possibly could be from within the pocket and in rhythm and time for the play. And so what we did, if you remember that first drill, and I'll draw it after this, but we had those kind of bags on the ground where you keep your base, but then we would combine that, instead of me being in front of them yelling or pointing which direction to go, we would take the kind of, what are those balls called? Not like the medicine balls, but like the balance balls, those big balls, those big rubber balls, and throw them at the quarterback. And then the quarterback would throw it to one of the quarterbacks standing like 10, 15 yards away. And that was it. And the other part that we did that I really liked is that we did it into a soccer net. So if you don't have 5 people helping you with a drill, with most people don't, unless you're in the league or some Power 5 conference, you got to kind of do this thing on your own. And so I would have like one of the injured players hold one of the balls. I'd hold 2 of the balls, let them move in the pocket once or twice, and then throw a couple at them. So they get, maximum 3 or 4 movements, really less than that if you can, and be able to kind of make it as game-like as possible from the pocket, while still maintaining your base, maintaining the kind of emphasis of protecting the ball and keeping your eyes down the field, to be able to kind of interweave all of those drills together. So you have the base with the bags, you've got the balls coming at you, so that you've got to keep that vision down the field. And then the other element of it was, that I didn't mention earlier, is that instead of having someone yell throw, you would have the target down the field kind of put up their hands or flash. And so you work on that vision element that I talked about earlier as far as the traits. Soft focus on kind of the color that flashes in your face. That's the big balance balls, while maintaining your base and keeping your eyes down the field. So we're going to test my artistic skills here. Pretend like there's a big soccer goal, maybe 5 feet behind the bags. Start. So that's to catch the ball so they don't go rolling past you. Okay. Coach right here, out here. Purdy player over here. And they're holding the big balls. And the quarterback starts moving. He goes first. He goes second. The quarterback has to make sudden movements while keeping his eyes down the field to a quarterback who's standing somewhere down here, who then flashes his hands. Okay. That's an outstanding drawing. You're welcome for that. So again, the balls go back into the net, so you're not running for them, which is an issue if you've ever done this drill before without a net. So you can get a lot of reps while also maintaining your base. You're welcome. And making it game-like, sudden. They can't kind of guess, okay, this guy's always coming first, this guy's going first, this guy's throwing high, this guy's throwing low. You mix it up. You make them not know what's coming, but they still have to maintain their base and their vision down the field. It's my favorite drill to teach and work pocket presence. Now, would we do that drill every day? Hell no. There's a lot of moving parts. That's a training camp thing. That's coming off a week where maybe we didn't have the greatest pocket presence in the game, those types of things, to reinforce those. But for me, the ones that, if we're going to do it, we're going to try to incorporate as many things as we possibly can. Base, quick sudden movements, reset, vision, all those types of things go into the way that I did it with the soccer net and the two or three balls. That being said, the other part that I think just doesn't get talked about enough is the realistic element of working this during the week and individual. As a high school head coach, play caller, backs coach, maybe you're coaching a few different positions. The way that we did it the most with our quarterbacks at the high school level, and the way that I did it the most, just playing on my own, prepping to play, prepping to go to camp, is to go through your reads for the concept and just move. So you hit the back of your drop, whatever the concept is. Number one's not there. Instead of just going 1 to 2, which can be useful depending on what you're doing drill-wise, is to go 1, slide to 2, reset to 3. Slide to 2 to the right, slide to 2 to the left, kick back, move violently at a 45, move violently, stay on the run to get to 3, to get to the check down. So to just do it as kind of a way to kind of compound the effects of getting through your reads while also not being a statue back there. So what we used to do is if we're going to go through a read, go through it twice. The first time, go through it 1, 2, 3, normal from the pocket. The next time, do it with some movement. So slide to your left, slide to your right, kick back, move at a 45, move and reset, move and stay on the run. Those types of things to be able to work that pocket presence without being able to get the bags out, the balls out, the net, the help, the 5-person crew to make you do those drills. A lot of me thinks that those drills, when they make it to social media, have some vanity elements of it for the quarterback coaches, just to say, look at all what we're doing. The reality is a lot of quarterback coaches, even quarterback gurus, don't have the time to do that every single day. It's not realistic. I think that there's value in it. There really is. But to say, what can we do every day to work our craft to get better and better? I think it's just as good, potentially, if you do it every single day, to be able to get through your reads while also doing quick, sudden movements, not doing 8 different movements around cones, star things, in circles, resetting, all those types of things. And even when I say that, I understand that there is some value with doing some elements of that. But if you're going to do it every single day, what do we want to reinforce? What drills do we want to do to make it look and feel and act like a game? Let's do real quick, sudden movements where we're kind of trying to create the environment of what it's actually going to be like in game. Pocket, quick, sudden movements to be able to deliver the ball where we're supposed to deliver it on time to the correct person. Those types of things, what I'm looking for when we're talking about teaching, drilling, working, pocket present, pocket movement. We made it to the end. Thank you so much for hanging to the end. I certainly appreciate your support for the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. I had fun putting it together. If you have other video ideas, let me know. Certainly appreciate your support through the Quarterback School Patreon community. That's certainly the best way to get a hold of me. A lot of different ways to get a hold of me. Put them in the comments. Like the video. I appreciate it. I will see you next time. Have a good one.